everybody, Ann here. As you can imagine, the last few days have been really rough. So today I'm just going to go look at some animal shelters and see what they have available. I can't stand the silence of being in that tiny house on that land without a dog. So I'm just going to see what they've got. They've got, an animal that warms up to me and it's a good match, then maybe I'll pick one up. Maybe I won't. But I have to keep living, I have to keep going, so I couldn't just sit around today. And it makes me happy to be around animals, so this is what I'm doing. I know it. I know it. Meet Judy. I'm just hanging out in the van right now because it's too sunny up by the tiny house. And you know what? No matter where I go, this dog just likes to be right at my feet. What you doing, Judy? Hey, pretty girl. You want to go for a ride in the truck? Judy, you want to go for a ride in the truck? I think we should go for a ride in the truck. This dog is crazy about playing ball. Alrighty? Go get it. I'm not a very good thrower. Bring it here, Judy. Bring it here. Oh, you tease, you tease. I can stop you. I can stop you. Here we go. Whoop. You spazzola. You spazzola. I should get the tripod out. Here, let me just throw it one more time. All right, go get it. Good girl. Bring it here. Bring it here. That's a good girl, Judy. Good girl. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You like to jump, don't you? You still got so much puppy in you. Yes. You want to go get it? Go get it. I should say fetch, right? Bring it here, Judy. Come on, bring it here. That's a good girl. Bring it here. Good girl, Judy. Oh, you are a tease. Gimme. All right. Ready? Go get it. Good girl. Bring it here, Judy. Bring it here. Oh, good girl. Sort of in a way. Okay, somebody farted, and I'm pretty sure I know who it is. Miss Judy. My goodness. We're going for a ride in the truck. Okay, let me tell you a little bit more about Judy. As I told you, she's a shelter dog. I got her from the Jackson Animal Care Center, and she's 1.5 years old. She was brought in as a stray, and they think she's about 1.5 years old. So what they do when they get these dogs in, they will, if they're old enough, they will automatically fix them. They'll spay or neuter them. Check them for heartworm. If they have heartworm, treat them for heartworm. Judy is heartworm negative. I'll have to look at her records to see if she got the treatment. They deworm them, give them all of these shots, and rabies shots and parvo and everything that you would give a dog. If they're puppies and they're brought in or they find them, they will wait till they're old enough to get fixed, and they will fix them before they will release them to a family. So I went to this place not knowing if I was going to be able to find something, because to me, Betty was the dog. She was the dog that ended all other dogs for me. I never thought that I would find another dog that I loved as much as her. But I looked around, and this one here, Judy, she was the first dog that I took out. And I thought, gosh, I really want this intimidating looking pit bull. But Judy was the sweetest dog, and she just plays with the other dogs, and she really seemed to like me. She looked up into my eyes and just gave me that look like, you know the look. It's the look that an animal gives you when they're like, hi, Mom. And so I ended up taking her home. And before I took her home, I took her to Tractor Supply Company, and she loves riding in the truck. Took her inside and got her some treats, and everybody greeted her, and they all knew she was they thought she was just purebred pit bull, but she's not. She's got something else in her. She does have that pit bull face, though. And she was good with every single person that walked by, and they all petted her, and she didn't try and jump or anything. And she's just a great dog. So I came home, and as soon as I pulled up, Mr. Lucas pulled up to my property in his tractor, his big lawnmower, and started mowing my lawn. And so I put Judy on a leash, and I took him out, took her out, and showed him to showed her to Mr. Lucas. I'm still so tired. I need some rest. I need to eat too. I haven't eaten in a couple of days. And he saw her, and he just gave me that look and kind of rolled his eyes. And so when he was all done mowing, I went across the street with Betty, and she got to meet his two dogs. Now, his Diesel passed away. He still has Dinah. But recently, another dog found them. And it looks like a Rottweiler puppy. And he is just the cutest thing. He looks like a big dog, but he's got these huge paws. So, I don't know. He looks like he may be 6 or 8 months old. This dog is going to get a lot bigger. And so I had Judy over there, and she played great with them. And she wasn't afraid of Mr. Lucas' tractor, lawnmower, or whatever. She wasn't afraid of that at all. She wasn't skittish. Now, she's barked a few times, but she's not really high-strung. Well, she's got all that energy and likes to jump up and be spastic and whatnot like that too. But she doesn't seem as irritated with critters, and that's a good thing because I've got lots of critters all over the place here. But she did send something out there, and there's been a male dog that's been coming onto my property. I don't know who it belongs to. And just kind of like roaming around and stuff. And I think she may have sensed that dog was here. She let out a nice big gruff, bark. And her bark is definitely, sounds like a pit bull. Anyway, I just keep looking down at her because she's just so pretty. I didn't think that I could find another dog this soon. I had immediately, well, that night when, after Betty passed on, I was up all night. I was looking at all the pit bull rescues. I was looking at the shelters, the pounds. I looked at, individual breeders. And you know what? There's no way I'm going to get a dog from a breeder. Because, and get this. All of the dogs that I loved, because there's some websites that'll list dogs that are available in certain areas, but they don't actually have the dogs. They just refer you to who does have the dog. All the dogs that I found that I loved were at this one kennel in Jackson, Tennessee. And I spent a long time in that shelter looking around. And it was clean. Of course, you never want to see dogs in shelters, on the bare floors, and it just looks institutionalized, but it was very clean. There was no overt smell of urine or feces. The dogs all looked good, except, there were some that were going through treatment for their skin and whatnot. And the staff was very patient with me because I kept asking questions, and I kept having them repeat things for me. And they were very patient with me, taking several dogs out at once, and then taking one back, bringing another, and then letting me take one out front, and, just bring them into the air conditioning and sit down with them. And I spent a lot of time in there, and they've got some really, really great dogs. They had a number of pit bull mix dogs there, and I really, really hope that people will consider one of these kinds of dogs. Now, they had a couple pit bulls that looked like purebred pit bulls that were absolutely gorgeous. There was a Loki, and there was a Oh, they had one named Kong, and he's a all-white pit bull, and he's deaf, and I just didn't think that that would be a good idea for me. There was, Loki was just gorgeous, but he just looked like a red zone pit bull, you know. And they said, and that's basically what Betty was like. I mean, she would, if she didn't know you, she would bark at you like she wanted to eat your face off. But as soon as she knew things were safe, you could pet her and stuff like that. And they said that this is the way Loki is. And I thought to myself, you know what, I'm going to keep looking. You know, I'll come back to Loki. But then I saw this one. Now, one of the main things that I said that I wanted when I went in there is I wanted a dog that looked intimidating. And, well, I'll show you more footage of her too. This girl does not look intimidating at all. And I thought, you know what, Bodhi would have been the intimidating dog. Nobody would have come up at me with that dog. This one, you know, if they don't see her and they only hear her bark, that's going to be good. But she is just like a little princess. She's a princess. And she doesn't beg when I eat people food. And that's because I haven't fed her any people food yet. So I think I need to, you know, think about that and whether or not I want to start her on that. But there was just that connection. You know, there just was. And I didn't think that I could do this so soon. But I'm glad that at the very least I got out and looked, because that morning, well, when I came home that day without my girl, it was like I was outside of myself watching this shell, you know, a husk, just walking around, and I'm just kind of like looking, and, you know, I called my parents, and they told me to go across the street, and I need to wash my hair. Go across the street and talk to Mr. Lucas. I did talk to Mr. Lucas, and we cried together, and it made me feel so much better. And, you know, he took my mind off of it, was telling me about all of his birds. He gave me some bird feed I actually hung it up, that little mushroom bird feeder that Francie gave me some bird feed to put in there. I'm going to have to move it. The birds aren't going to come right up to the porch and eat while I'm sitting here, you know. And he talked about his vegetables and his trees and stuff like that, and it really took my mind off of it. And then my sister Lori in California called, and she's just, she can be goofy. I told her I was going to show the pictures of her that she sent to me, and maybe I will at some point, but she was being goofy and silly, and it made me feel better. But then after the phone call stopped and I was there, and it was just so quiet, you know. I was just so used to hearing all of those little sounds that she would make, just hearing her breathing, you know. And I remember in that Ask Me Anything video that I did, oh, there's a hawk, nice. Someone asked me if I ever get lonely, and I'm like, no, I don't get lonely. Well, I tell you what, I was lonely, and it was just such an awful feeling, you know, just to be out here without an animal with me, you know, without a dog. It can't just be any animal. I have to have a dog. And so I went looking around online, and I think I made the best choice, and she's just, she is just precious. And she did snuggle, well, she didn't snuggle up as much, you know, as Betty used to, but it's really hot right now anyhow, and she did get up in the bed and sleep, and I had to let her know it's okay to get up on the bed. She wasn't going to get up on the bed, if you can believe that. But I'm glad that she's good with other dogs, she's good with other people, and I think it's a match made in heaven, honestly. I think it was the right thing to do, and even if I hadn't found a dog that day, going and looking at all these lovely creatures in that shelter, it immediately lifted my spirits. And I know why people have therapy dogs, you know, I don't have PTSD or anything like that, but I can see how it would help people who have that, because dogs just give me this just wonderful, warm, calm feeling. And I have to have one out here. But I couldn't have just any dog. It had to be the right one. And so Judy, she's a goofball. I think you guys are going to love her too. as you get to know her. Yeah, I think you will. So, listen, I want to encourage everybody, instead of going to a breeder or a pet store, to please go to your local shelters or your pound, um, and get your pet that way. Dogs, cats, you're going to be saving somebody's life, basically. You're going to be giving them a new home, and spend a lot of time looking, and don't let anybody rush you. Just find the right pet for you. There's so many dogs and cats that are in these shelters, and I think I told you, but this is a no-kill shelter, and yeah, Jackson Animal Care Center. So I don't know how they're funded, but I'm going to find out if they've got a PayPal or something, and maybe at some point I'll do a donation drive or something for this place, because they certainly got me hooked up with with a great dog, so I can smile again. So anyhow, okay. I want to thank all of you for the prayers. You helped Betty move on more peacefully, and you're helping me heal. I'm not healed yet. That's going to take a while. It's going to take a while until I can think about her and talk about her and not want to cry. I'm not at that point yet. It's going to get there eventually. But all of your words, your kind words, and you sharing your experiences with your pets, and letting me know how bad it hurt you when you had to say goodbye to your fur baby, it does help. It does help me, and so thank you. And thank you to all of the people who donated to the PayPal during this period. Well, during all periods, but in particular during this period, because you facilitated me getting Betty to the vet. I had some money. I could have paid for it, but you guys just pitched in. And it also enabled me to get back to Dr. Harris, and for him to, give me his opinion, and then help Betty move on. And they're going to send me a paw print, and I'm having her cremated. She's been cremated. And so those donations helped with all of that, in addition to the adoption fee at the shelter. So you guys just basically saved me. You really just kind of saved me from sinking into a pit of despair. Because sometimes when very painful things like this happen, it's easy to sink when you feel like there's nobody that cares. And I know I've got people that care. I have family that care. I have friends that care. And I have so many people out there watching the video that don't even really know me. Many of you do know me, though. And you know what a dork I am. But I feel like we've all become friends and family. So it's good to have that feeling like people care. Anyhow, I was going to cut this off a while ago. This is too long. So in the coming days, I'm going to get back into the swing of things. The inside of the tiny house is a mess. I just pull things out and don't put them away. Can't be bothered. I have to show you that I've got a new inverter. I have a new charge controller, and I've added another battery to my battery bank, and I also have some new cables. So I'm going to have to show you that as well. Those were all sent by subscribers, and it's just amazing. It's made a huge, huge difference. So expect that to be coming up. And there's also been some developments in the garden. It's like it's been raining, and I haven't had to get out and water the plants myself, and it's just been a blessing. So I get to show you that in the next video, next few videos. Anyhow, that's all I got for you guys today. See you in the next video. Say bye, Judy. Hey, girl. Show them your beautiful face. I love you. You're sweet. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, and y'all have a good one.